Hey guys, Preston here. Welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be previewing UFC 248, which happens Saturday night, March 7th at starting at 8 p.m. at the T-Mobile Arena. I will be focusing solely on the main card. I believe I'll briefly glance through the prelims and the early prelims. If there's any notable fights I want to talk about, I'll bring them up real quick. But mainly I'm going to be giving my predictions on the main card and kind of just talking about it. I'll also probably do a review of the fights after they happen, so look forward to that. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Alright, so for the early prelims, let's see if there's anything notable. Okay, so you have Polyana Viana fighting Emily Whitmire as like the main event of the early prelims. That's actually not a bad fight. Emily Whitmire, I know her from she was on the Ultimate Fighter, whatever the flyweight season was, with Rachel Ostovich and some other people. That's like the only season of Ultimate Fighter I watched. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I haven't watched it since. But she's fighting Polyana Viana, who I think is the girl. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's the Brazilian girl who like demolished some dude who tried to mug her. So that'll be fun. I mean, she's 10-4. She looks to be trying to keep her name building up in the strawweight division. So we'll see how that goes. I said it was a flyweight, so I guess Emily went down. Maybe, I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's like the only fight I kind of know on that. Sorry to the other people in the early prelims. Maybe if you know them, let me know. On the prelims, I mean, they're not bad. Like, this card isn't super loaded. I'm familiar with Darren Wynn and Gerard and all those guys. So there's some names I know. The main event of the prelims, which will be on ESPN, by the way, regular ESPN if you're interested, is Sean O'Malley, Sugar Sean O'Malley, making his return to fight Jose Alberto Quinones. I'm not good with names. It'll be interesting to see. 10-0 versus 8-3. Sean hasn't really gotten his foot in the door in the UFC too much because he's popped far too many times. So, I mean, I'm rooting for the guy. Got to stay off whatever he popped for, though. And if it was tainted, I'm sorry. But either way, I think he's failed like twice, right? So that's not good, but it's good to see him back, all right? All right, so the main card, the first fight of the main card is... So Derek Brunson's supposed to have a fight. Google's saying it's canceled. I'm going off Google's, by the way. I know I could look for a more official, but they just laid it out so nice for everything. So I guess the first fight of this card will be Alex Cowboy Oliveira versus Max Griffin. I think that'll be a very entertaining fight, honestly. It's kind of tough for me to pick. I don't know. Because I haven't seen either of these guys fight in a while. I'm more familiar with Oliveira, I'd say, than Max Griffin. I'm going to give the edge to Cowboy on this one. Not the American Cowboy, the Brazilian Cowboy. He's a tough dude, man. I think he can bounce back, get a win. I know the last couple fights I remember of him, he hasn't fared too well, but he's fought some real tough guys. I think he can get it done against Max. It will be an entertaining fight, though. I believe that. I think both these dudes are real tough guys, and they'll duke it out in there, see who wins. Next up is the welterweight matchup between Neil Magny and Lee Jinglane. I want to pronounce it Jinglane, and that might be offensive. I don't know. It's but it's kind of like how it's spelled. But either way, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. Obviously, just based off how I'm trying to say his name, I'm not really familiar with Lee. I mean, he has a very good, impressive record. He's 17-5. But I know Neil Magny, 21-7. I trust he can get it done. I'm going to go with Neil Magny. Magny, right? Yeah, Magny on this one. The next fight up is Drakkar Klose versus Beneil Dariush. With these guys, I know their names, but I don't know a lot about them. Like I said, this card's pretty top-heavy with the main and co-main. And after that, I mean, there's decent fights. Like I said, Cowboy and Max Griffin will be fun. But, you know, there's no, like, huge names outside of that. Just off the little I know, I'm going to go with Dariush on this one. He's 17-4-1. He's a good guy. He's a good fighter, up and coming, I'd say. Maybe. If he's super old, then he won't be up and coming. But I think he's young. I think I could do more research. But yeah, I think he'll get the edge on this one. I think that will be a good fight too. Like I said, sometimes the fighters I don't know a lot about end up being some of the more entertaining fights of the night. Like I said, we'll see how it goes when I review it afterwards. Then we have Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk in the co-main event, women's strawweight title fight. I'm gonna have to go with Weili. I think that's how you say her name. John on this one. She is 20-1. I mean, she's had a very impressive record. I like Joanna, but I mean, since she ran into Thug Rose, shout out DC, I think Rose hasn't really been the same in a while. I don't know. She's looked kind of different. I mean, I think she had a good fight her last outing, but I just think that Zhang gets it done. I think she might be the champ for a while. I still am curious to see what Rose is doing. maybe she does have a fight lined up, but I hope she does because I feel like, let's be honest, she kind of lost that title because she wouldn't let go of that armbar. You know, I think she was supposed to win that fight. But I think Zhang gets this done and retains her title, her first title defense, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see. Or maybe it's her second because I think she fought her again. Maybe. Either way, Zhang's probably got this done, I'd say. She's pretty good. She kind of came out of nowhere at first, at least to me, but she's a good champion. And I think she'll fare well. I mean, she's got the strength. She can get it done. All right, this is the one I'll probably talk the most about, as you would probably expect. I've been talking pretty fast this whole time, which is pretty rare for me, honestly. I usually slow stuff down. But we have Israel Stylebender Adesanya versus Yoel Soldier of God Romero. And my heart wants to go Yoel Romero so bad. I mean, it's hard not to love the guy, man. I love you. You know, it's what he says. It's who he is. He's a fun guy, cool personality, jacked. I mean, he's huge. But I think part of that is he gets tired. I mean, his age, he's older. He's definitely old. He's like 40, but who knows? He's from Cuba, so no one really knows his real age. But he's 13-4, so he hasn't even had that many UFC fights, MMA fights. But he's always a threat, though. That's the thing. Like, obviously he's been beat, and if you're doing like your MMA math, Yoel lost to Whitaker twice, and Adesanya knocked out Whitaker last time around. So it's clearly this fight leans towards the undefeated Stylebender. I mean, Adesanya has been a beast ever since he's entered the UFC. He's looked better each fight. Don't count out Romero, though. He can get it done. I mean, he's a mauler, an Olympic wrestler, and super heavy hands. So, I mean, technically anything can happen, but if we're being real honest here, Adesanya is more than likely going to get this win. And I feel like, barring something crazy happening, which obviously can happen, like Anderson Silva breaking his leg, I think Adesanya will run this middleweight division for a while. I mean, there's still the talks that he might go up to fight John Jones at some point within, like, next year, the year after. But it's tough to see. Like, I can't even think of a situation, really, where it's likely that Adesanya will lose any of these kind of up-and-coming title fights. I can't think of anyone else in the division at the moment who I could really just destroy him, you know? So, it'd be interesting to see. I mean, like I said, Yoel can win, but I don't think he will. I think his best chance for those Whitaker fights. Obviously, I do feel like he beat Robert Whitaker last fight, if I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if you all feel that way, but to me, he won that fight, but they didn't want to give it to him, obviously, because, well, it's his fault. He missed weight. Yoel missed weight in that fight, so it wasn't a true title fight, meaning if Yoel won, it'd be Whitaker who kept the belt even though he lost, and I think that was part of the factoring into the decision was that, you know, that's not a great look, so they decided to just give the edge to Whitaker. Maybe it's a conspiracy theory. Call me crazy. I'm sorry. But I think Yoel did win that second fight. But to be fair, he didn't win it. Even if he won, he didn't win nearly as convincingly as Israel did. I mean, Yoel's a scary guy, man. Most people don't want to fight him. Israel volunteered to do it. He's a little crazy that way. So it will be a fun fight, I hope. I mean, Izzy doesn't wrestle, so you know there will be a stand-up. And Yoel is a very good wrestler, but most of the fights I've watched him perform, he hasn't really utilized it. And I do think Israel's really good at takedown defense. He's shown he can be good at defending takedowns. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. I think Yoel will probably have I don't know if he'll have an advantage at all this fight, but if he does, it'll definitely be in the early rounds, those first 2 rounds. That's the weird thing with Yoel, because he looks tired like the whole fight, but he doesn't stop. You know, he doesn't stop. Even when it looks like he could barely move towards the end of that Whitaker fight, throwing like 2 miles an hour, but he definitely didn't quit. He could always catch Izzy if he's not careful, but the thing is, Adesanya is very careful. He picks you apart. You know, he's like a vulture, I guess. He picks his shots. He doesn't swarm. Sometimes he'll just let you fall down and get right back up. He won't swarm you. A lot of times he doesn't go for the kill right away. He prefers to pick you apart, wear you down, and you'll still get knocked out at the end of it once you get dropped a couple times. It's usually what I've seen from him. You know, he's still got that kickboxing mentality, so he doesn't get real reckless. Honestly, I think that's the most likely way he'd lose this fight is if he decided to get kind of out of character and a bit reckless with this, which I doubt will happen. Like I said, I want Yoel to win so bad. I want this dude to get a title before he hangs it up. I really don't know how much more fights he has. He seems confident he can keep fighting forever, but that's Yoel, right? That's kind of who he is. So, I don't know, man. So, I mean, with the main and co-main, I have the title defenders retaining their belt. I have them defending their title successfully. The challengers fall short. I mean, Joanna can do it, like I said. I mean, I just think Zhang Weili is good enough to get it done. I'm probably saying her name wrong. I apologize. But I do think she can get it done. Obviously, Joanna will have the height and reach advantage, I believe, unless Zhang is deceptively tall, and I am wrong. But I just think she might be the girl. But that's the thing with the women's divisions. I feel like, well, only strawweight because Nunes and Shevchenko run the rest of the women's weight classes. Nunes runs it's featherweight and bantamweight, and Shevchenko runs flyweight. And I feel like they're not going to get affected by anyone for a long time till they retire. they will run their divisions. I feel like they have to fight each other again. That's like the fight to make for their weight class. But for Zhang, this is her opportunity. Maybe she can become the Shevchenko of strawweight, where she just runs it. Although I don't think it's the best for the UFC. I like when there's some parity. You know, one guy running the division forever, or one girl, isn't always the best thing. But I think that's just kind of reality with the women's MMA, especially at the two upper weight classes, is just that Nunes and Shevchenko found a way to be leagues above everyone else, and it helps that, you know, bantamweight is pretty darn new for the women's division, and so is flyweight, and, you know, it's going to take time for these people to catch up. It's hard to me, Shevchenko and Nunes are like generational talents, and this is up to Zhang to try to become that. I mean, I'm sure she wants to be the greatest female fighter ever, but she's got a long road ahead, you know. It's tough to keep up with those girls. I almost said guys, but I use guys for like everyone, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think it's just legacy on the line for the title. For the people with the title, it's an honor thing for girls. Someone like Joanna, she's already been at the top, and she ran that division. Now she wants to get back, and it's always a struggle to get back. I think it's harder to get back than when you were already there, right? And I think Zhang's going to be one of her toughest fights she's ever had, if I'm being honest. It might seem over dramatic. You let me know if you think she's definitely had harder ones. I mean, the Rose ones were obviously tough because she lost them, but I think Zhang will be a real challenge. And I do want to see Zhang fight Rose. I hope Rose comes back, because that's the fight I want to see. Honestly, that's the fight I really want to see. And Yoel, you know he doesn't quit. Like I said, he'll be a tough fight, tough outing for Israel. But getting a name like Yoel on your resume is just perfect if you're trying to establish your legacy, right? Guys like Whitaker beat Ramiro. Ramiro's a tough son of a gun, man. No one wants to fight him. Okay, so if you can get the win on him, it's a good look for you. Even though he's lost a couple times and he's had his struggles making weight, he seems confident that he'll make weight this time. We'll find out. I think I'm uploading this the Friday, so a day before or maybe the day of. Either way, but then I'll know if he made weight or not. But at the time of recording this, I'm recording this on a Thursday at like 3 p.m. for all transparency. So I don't know if anyone has missed weight or anything, if the fight card ends up being different. Let's hope not. Let's hope the MMA gods are in our favor. But thank you guys for watching. That's been my predictions. I think Izzy and Zhang retain their titles. Let me know what you guys think. If I was wrong on any of these, if you have your own opinions, feel free to comment below. Let me know. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content. Stay tuned for the review video I will make after the fight concludes. This is KMA Preston signing out. See you guys later. Thanks again.